that. Hey, joining me now is Kerry Tidwell. He's the general manager at ARS Rescue Rooter. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Tracy.
Last time you were here, we talked about the importance of regular maintenance and having professionals' eyes take a look at your furnace. Today we want to talk a little bit more specifically about a heat exchanger, which I think now we're getting past the general homeowner's area of expertise when it comes to maintaining their furnace, right? What exactly is the heat exchanger? What does it do?
Well, the heat exchanger, Tracy, is an internal part of your furnace, and it actually consists of tubes, which is this right here.
Yeah.
And how this works is that flames are directed into your heat exchanger, and that's actually what creates the warm air for your home. The air passes over these, and that's what creates the warm air in your home. Also, there's potentially harmful gases that go along with those flames and that in there, and so those are typically vented out your house through the chimney.
Proper ventilation is important.
That's right.
I've heard people, I don't want to say horror story, but talk about having a cracked heat exchanger, and for me that sounds like having like a cracked engine block in your car. It's bad, right?
It's very bad from a furnace standpoint, and you know, again, when you have a breach or any kind of crack or hole, you know, again, there's potentially harmful gases in there, and a crack can allow those to penetrate into your home.
Is there anything a homeowner could do, him or herself, visually, as a visual inspection, to know whether it's cracked or not, or you know, just got to call the pros?
Yeah, you really do, and that's all part of a tune-up. At ARS Rescue Rooter, all of our technicians are certified heat exchanger experts, so they're able to diagnose this. There's different tools that they use to identify them, but really the best thing is just to have a professional look at it and make sure that you know, there are no breaches within the heat exchanger.
Which is exactly what you want homeowners to do at least once a year, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you need to do it at least once on the furnace, once on the outside unit as well, and make sure that, you know, there's a safety check that usually is done on when you do that, and the heat exchanger, the examination of the heat exchanger would be part of that.
Okay, I was going to call you last week, I swear, but my wife said I can't until I clean the garage. She's too embarrassed about the way the garage looks. We'll deal with that this week. Now, if we call in you or one of your crews and they determine that there is a cracked heat exchanger, is it always the case that it needs replaced? Are there repair options?
You know, not always, Trace. That's a good question. Not always, because a lot of it would depend on, you know, the age. A lot of these have warranties on them. So the first thing we would do once we find that a heat exchanger is cracked or compromised is to see if there is a warranty on it. And then if there's not a warranty still left on the heat exchanger, then you know, we would obviously talk to the customer about their options, either repair or replace. Lots of times based on the age, you know, once these get over 10 years, the cost of the repair may not make sense versus, you know, the cost of new. So
and plus with the new, you're going to get all the efficiency, because I mean, oh my gosh, the technology over the years, it's almost been like exponential in terms of how much smaller the units are and how much more efficient they are, right? It is,
and this unit right here is actually what we call a 90% unit. You have two. This is where your PVC pipes would come out right here, and one is for fresh air intake, and the other is exhaust to vent it out.
How big a home could this heat, this particular size?
You know, a lot of it depends. You know, this is a 75,000 BTU furnace. A lot of it really depends. One is the size of the home, but a lot of people don't understand that it's not just based on square footage, but the number of windows, doors, insulation values in the home. So
where the heat runs are.
That's right. All that goes into determine what size you actually need.
Okay, but still, I think this is like half the size of one in my house, and I think my current unit is at least as old as one intern, maybe as old as two put together, but it definitely doesn't have that 96 on it. So, but now's a good time, because we're not at the point, I mean, we've had furnaces kick on with a few cold spells in the evening, but it's probably a good time now to make that appointment, get it taken care of, get that peace of mind before it's running a long time in the colder months.
Yeah, very critical to get it inspected and get the heat exchanger inspected, just to make sure that everything's running safely for the home and the family. And you call ARS Rescue Rooter at 390-5555, and we come out and do that for you.
And you got a website too, right?
We do, ars.com.
Great. You'll sleep more comfortably, not just because you've got efficient heat coming out, but you've got peace of mind knowing that everything's working right. Good to see you as always. Appreciate that.
You as well, Tracy.
We'll make sure we put that link on IndyStyle.tv. When we come back,